Hey everybody, it's me, Remy, the comic book poser, and I'm here today to welcome you to End of the Poserverse. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. We're going to talk about all of the probably way too many comics that I'm checking out on this week's new comic book day, the 16th, aka St. Patrick's Day Eve. I'm gonna wreck my liver. Shop Talk's gonna be messy on Thursday. But, to see what I'm picking up, and I think you should read along with me, you should check it out after this.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright, here are your usual couple of quick announcements. Don't forget, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, we've got discussion streams of AEW on Wednesday and Friday, and Sunday night movie night, where we are going to watch, I think we're at the Incredible Hulk, and we're going to go with the Edward Norton theme and watch Rounders, and we're going to have a poker night while we watch Rounders, and I'll explain how to do that in the Discord. Number 2, on Thursday, we've got Whatnot Auction at 8 o'clock. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think there will be a theme. I think the theme will be buy this short box of comics, please. And we're doing Shop Talk at 9:30 Central, where we're going to try something new. We're going to have our second attempt at a game that KM had the Guess the Grade. We're going to try doing a wait, don't tell me style news quiz. So we'll see how that goes. So hopefully you're there with us. But most importantly, don't forget to comment on this video to get your entry into this week's poser pile, and you'll see what books will make the pile as we work through the list. Alright, starting off the week, we've got Amazing Spider-Man 92. Beyond. I've been enjoying this. All the stuff that happened with Dr. Connors in 92 was crazy. So I want to see what happens in the continuation of kind of these arcs that are focusing on what's happening to the Beyond Corporation specifically. Below that, we've got the Avengers. Every time I get to the Avengers, I go, maybe one more issue, maybe one more issue. So we'll see how the end of this Doom Hunters arc, or Death Hunters arc works. We can see the elevation of Doctor Doom, hunting the Deathlocks. I don't know, we'll see. This has been okay. So we'll see how they set up the next arc in the closing couple of pages. Next up, Basilisk number 8. I've been in love with this series from the beginning. I think this is one of the coolest covers of the week that you can check out both Cole's Comic Claims Friday video or Bruce and Stephanie's top 5 anticipated video from yesterday, where they talk about their covers that they are in love with this week. But I think this one is absolutely cool, especially with the whited out nature of the glasses. Next up from DC is Blue and Gold. They are now headed back to their part of Earth after that weird, time hunting, time travel, time master excursion. It's weird, but it's Jurgens writing Booster Gold, so I'm gonna love it. Next, Bylines by Blood number 3. I've enjoyed this. This is the woman who is a reporter kind of investigating the death of a friend. She's being tracked by an assassin. I think this has been a fairly decent build to some kind of explosive action, so we'll see if we get that in this book. Next, we've got Carnage number 1. I'm excited about this, not just because I like symbiotes, but Ram V is writing the Carnage book. I love Ram V. I really love what Ram V is doing on Venom, so I can't wait to see what happens in this, especially if it's connected to the Carnage one-shot that came out a month ago. Next up from DC is Catwoman number 41. This is my 3rd issue on this run that I've gotten into, that at the recommendation of Bruce again, made me really hooked. That my only critique of Catwoman is in 39 and 40, it was just very dialogue and word bubble heavy, so I had to focus with more attention than I normally have to when I read. So we'll see if that's the case in this one. Alright, next up from Dark Horse is Cloak number 4. I've been enjoying this where we're kind of learning about a gritty superhero that I have to go back and reread issue number 3, just because I'm reading a couple of stories like this at the same time, but I'm excited. Crimson Cage is definitely towards the top of the reading pile for me this week. If there's an extra copy, it's definitely going out in the poser pile, again, because I think it's a brilliant retelling of Macbeth. I think what John Lees is doing is absolutely crushing it in terms of his interpretation, using wrestling as a vehicle to tell better versions of Shakespeare. And I think the art in it is really, really gritty, which I think is kind of the attitude that you need at times in Macbeth to showcase the horror elements of it. Next up is Flash 780. I've been enjoying this. We're starting to see the threat of the Time Force weakening, a little bit of, I think it was it's either Iris or whatever the boy's name is. I'm bad at remembering that. But I like what's happening in Gem World. I just kind of like this small Elseworlds feel to it, right? Because they're fighting for one of the alternate Earths in the multiverse. Next up is Last Book You'll Ever Read, number 6. I finally got my number 5 in. That for some reason either there was a delay in it coming in, or in my copy getting to there was either a publication delay or just it didn't show up in the Diamond delivery, and it took an extra 2 weeks to get me my copy. But this cult that's going down was a very interesting turn from issue number 5, and I don't want to say very much more to spoil it. Next up is Rain number 3. You all know how in I am on this book, that number 1 was my pick of the week. Rain number 2 was the runner-up the week it came out, and I have a set of signed exclusives that I picked up from my buddy Scott Sidwell that I'm sending to the CBCS because they are sexy covers, and this is one of those series that I'm absolutely enamored by in terms of looking at what is happening now that our adventure party has grown from 1 to 3 people, as we figure out what is going on with the Reign of Needles as it continues to expand in size and threat. Next up from Boom Studios is the final issue of Regarding the Matter of Oswald's Body. The crew is in Texas trying to flee to Mexico. We've seen a little bit of the team turn on each other in issue number 4, and I am glad that I stuck with this series. That if you remember, I was kind of skeptical with issue number 1, and issue number 2 really drew me in. And if you want to see some more images from this book, you can go down to the description and see the link to the new and improved comicbookposer.com, where I did a preview of this issue. Next up from Valiant is Shadow Man number 1. Again, I sung Cullen Bunn's praises on Basilisk. I am again enjoying this. This has been one of my favorite reads that just kind of sneaks up on me how good it is. Again, in terms of reinterpreting one of the characters that I liked from my childhood. I also am liking what Valiant is doing in terms of connecting the dots to some of their ongoing comics with some NFTs that they are building into their own metaverse element. I'm way too poor to be able to afford some of those NFTs, but it's very interesting looking at how a publisher is playing with NFTs to kind of connect the physical reading space to, all of the evolutions of Web 3.0 that are just way over my head. Butterfly in the sky. Next up is the final book of Arc 2 from the Silver Coin number 10. We are getting Michael Walsh, who is the artist and the kind of creative mind behind the series. This is his issue that he wrote the final book of the first arc. So here we are in this one. This is looking at the same universe that he set up, or the same story that he set up in issue number 5. Apparently it now jumps this story 300 years into the future, because we were looking at like pilgrims, I think, in that first one. So now we get to see what happens, 300 years later. Next is Slumber number 1. This is bloody. It is somebody who is a dream detective, a nightmare hunter. This book looks creepy. It looks like it's going to check some of the boxes that I like in terms of reading some horror. I'm really liking a lot of the creepy, monster, blurring of two worlds kind of things. And the twist in this one is we don't know if things are Freddy Kruegering people from the dreams, or if there is a serial killer in the physical world. So let's go. Also from Image is Stillwater the Escape number 1. This is the spin-off series. We're starting to figure out a little bit more in terms of the people who have left Stillwater, what is happening to them as they age, as they become, vulnerable, and all of those things. So, as we know that Stillwater is, in a very turbulent period right now, it's interesting to see the Elseworlds version, or not Elseworlds, the version of the people who were, I guess, lucky enough to escape, and really see if they're lucky, or if Stillwater is something, that you can take the kid out of the trailer park, but you can't take the trailer out of the kid, right? Next up from Image is What's the Furthest Place from Here, number 5. I love that this is the appropriate sized issue, because everything else up to this point has been a double issue. I've been enjoying this, that we're kind of building to the carnival element of it. We're trying to figure out, if they can find the person who's pregnant that, disappeared. But this has been just wild tale that I love Boston Rosenberg, so I can't wait for more. Next up is Wolvenheart number 12 from Mad Cave Studios. This has been just a wild ride of looking at how basically a monster hunter kind of works his way through time to take out the occult, and looking at the support network that's behind it. I like the idea of stealing the picture of Dorian Gray, that just becomes an interesting literary reference point for me, that when I'm done editing this video, I'll probably pull this one up from Mad Cave's Hub and check it out, because it looks like a lot of fun. And then our final book of the week is the X Lives, 10 Lives of Wolverine number 5. This is the next to last book of the series. I really enjoyed the 2 issues that I picked up both last week, in terms of seeing some of the motivation of the Omega Wolverine, right? The technology creeped out guy. I love looking at just the ongoing battle between Wolverine and Omega Red throughout this issue. So this is going to, the next to last issue. And now I can't remember if it's 10 or 12 issues combined, but we're getting towards the end of this. So what happens in the climactic battle? It says this is an experience comics readers won't soon forget. So let's see how Ben Percy is gonna shake me. And again, oddly light week for me in terms of only spending $75 and only picking up 20 books that I don't even have double covers for anything on this one. So we'll see. Is there anything I forgot? Like I said, light week for me. So if you're watching this live, I know you'll let me know if there are things coming out that I should pick up over here. If you're watching this on the rewind, let me know in the comments down below. Regardless of if you're chatting here, don't forget to comment on the video, because we will give things away on Shop Talk on Thursday night, where we're also trying something new. So as always, y'all, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.